How are you guys doing? Today is Saturday, October 23rd, 2021. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review the Elite matchups and performances from yesterday, Friday, October 22nd. And of course, just to give you a quick snapshot of where we are in the year, looking at the MLB, there are now 3 teams left competing for the World Series, as the Red Sox, being eliminated, makes the Astros the champions of the American League for the 2021 season. And of course, Game 6 of the National League Championship Series will be played today in Atlanta. I will get to that in a quick second. Also, there's football underway as week 8 of the college football season is taking place, or the 8th Saturday of the college football season takes place today. The NFL is picking up tomorrow, not to mention soccer picking up today as well. And with that said, taking a look at what's going on in the MLB, looking at Game 6 of the American League Championship Series, the Houston Astros hosted the Boston Red Sox. Coming into this matchup, the Astros led the Red Sox 3-2, and the Astros were able to pull off a 5-0 win. In the bottom of the first, the Astros were able to get their first win off of an RBI double from Yordan Alvarez. In the bottom of the sixth, the Astros would score their second run off of a ground out double play by Kyle Tucker, but Yordan Alvarez would score. And in the bottom of the 8th, it would be a 3-run home run from Kyle Tucker to seal it, and they only allowed the Red Sox to get 2 hits all game. For the Red Sox in their final campaign of the 2021 season, the loss went to their starting pitcher, Nathan Eovaldi. Eovaldi allowed 1 earned run in 4.1 innings. He would strike out 4 batters before he got pulled in the 5th inning. With this loss, he is 1-2 this series. And in the Red Sox batting lineup, the only players, or I guess their center fielder, Kike Hernandez, went 1-4. Their left fielder, Alex Verdugo, went 1-2 as well. Their elite designated hitter, JD Martinez, went 0-2 as he finished with a walk, and he struck out twice. And for the Houston Astros, the win went to their starting pitcher, Luis Garcia. Luis Garcia would allow no earned runs and only 1 hit in 5.2 innings. He struck out 7 batters in that span, and with this win, he's 1-1 in the American League Championship Series. And, of course, in the batting lineup, their third baseman, Alex Bregman, would end up going 2-4 as he finished with a run. Their designated hitter, Yordan Alvarez, would end up going 4-4 with an RBI and 2 runs. And he was subsequently named the American League Championship Series MVP. Also, their right fielder, Kyle Tucker, will go 1-4 with 3 RBIs and a run. And with this win, they will advance to the World Series to face off against the winner of the National League Championship Series between the Atlanta Braves and the Dodgers. Game 6 of the NLCS will be tonight, as the Atlanta Braves are going to host the LA Dodgers. The Braves lead this series 3-2. If the Braves win this series, the Braves will be the team to face off against the Astros. If the Dodgers win, then that means they will force Game 7, which would be in Atlanta because Atlanta was the higher seed, despite the Dodgers finishing with the better record in the regular season. Just glancing over college football, there is a lot of college football to be played, as a good amount of the top 25 teams are on their bye weeks. And once these games are completed, I will come back tomorrow to review these games. But just skipping over that, of course, at the same time, the NFL will resume tomorrow. And taking a look at what's going on in the NBA from yesterday's matchup, starting off in Cleveland, the Cleveland Cavaliers hosted the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets would end up beating the Cavaliers 123-112. The Hornets would end up outscoring the Cavaliers by 16 points in the second half, as the Cavaliers did lead at halftime. For the Cavaliers in this loss, their leading scorer was their starting point guard, Colin Sexton. He finished with 33 points and 2 steals in 35 minutes as he shot 13 for 21 from the field. He shot 5 for 5 from the foul line on the night as well. And then for the Charlotte Hornets, they were led in scoring by their starting small forward, Miles Bridges. He finished with 30 points and 7 rebounds along with 3 steals in 35 minutes. The Michigan State product shot 13 for 24 from the field and 4 for 9 from 3 on the day. Their shooting guard off the bench, Kelly Oubre Jr., would finish with 25 points in 27 minutes as he shot 9 for 13 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3, and a perfect 3 for 3 from the foul line. And then back in their starting lineup, their elite point guard, LaMelo Ball, would end up with 17 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 steals in 29 minutes as he shot 8 for 12 from the field and 1 for 3 from the three-point line. With this win, the Charlotte Hornets are now 2-0, and with this loss, the Cleveland Cavaliers are 0-2 to start their season. Jumping out to Orlando, the Orlando Magic hosted the New York Knicks, and the Knicks were able to beat the Magic 121-96. The Knicks would go on to outscore the Magic by 20 in the first quarter, and they outscored the Magic by 10 in the second. That is a 30-point deficit by halftime. For the Orlando Magic in this loss, their leading scorer was their starting small forward, Franz Wagner. He finished with 16 points in 34 minutes as he shot 6 for 12 from the field and 4 for 5 from 3. For the New York Knicks, they were led in scoring by their starting power forward out of Kentucky, Julius Randle, finished with 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists alongside 2 steals in 30 minutes. The former All-Star finished shooting 9 for 16 from the field and 1 for 2 from the foul line on the night. Their elite starting point guard, Kemba Walker, would finish with 11 points in 22 minutes as he shot 4 for 8 from the field and 3 for 5 from 3. With this win, the New York Knicks are 2-0, and the Orlando Magic are now 2-0. Jumping out to our nation's capital, the Washington Wizards hosted the Indiana Pacers. The Wizards would pull off a 135-134 win in overtime as Bertans' 3 would seal the game for them. For the Indiana Pacers, they were led in scoring by their starting center out of Texas, Miles Turner. He finished with 40 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks in 44 minutes. Turner shot 15 for 22 from the field. He shot 5 for 9 from 3 and 5 for 8 from the foul line on the night. Their former All-Star starting power forward, Domantas Sabonis, finished with 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists in 43 minutes as he shot 10 for 13 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and 6 for 8 from the foul line. Their starting point guard, Malcolm Brogdon, finished with 28 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals in 44 minutes. He shot 12 for 22 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and 2 for 2 from the foul line. For the Washington Wizards, there's starting point guard Spencer Dinwiddie would lead the team in scoring. He would finish with 34 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists in 35 minutes. He shot 13 for 24 from the field, 6 for 9 from 3, and a perfect 2 for 2 from the foul line. Their starting small forward, Kyle Kuzma, would finish with 26 points and 11 rebounds in 39 minutes as he shot 10 for 17 from the field, 5 for 8 from 3, and 1 for 2 from the foul line on the night. With this win, the Washington Wizards are 2-0. They are 1-0 at home, and the Indiana Pacers are 0-2 as they've lost both of their first 2 games on the road. Jumping out to Philadelphia to a primetime matchup, the Philadelphia 76ers hosted the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets would end up beating the 76ers 114-109. The big difference was the fourth quarter where the Nets outscored the Sixers by 11. They outscored them 29-18. For the Sixers in this matchup, their starting power forward Tobias Harris and their starting shooting guard Seth Curry would tie for the team high in scoring. Harris finished with 23 points and 7 rebounds in 37 minutes as he shot 10 for 20 from the field and 3 for 4 from 3. Their starting shooting guard Seth Curry would finish with 23 points in 36 minutes as he shot 9 for 12 from the field, a perfect 4 for 4 from 3 and 1 for 2 from the foul line. Their elite starting center, Joel Embiid, would finish with 19 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals, as well as 4 blocks in 30 minutes. He shot 6 for 15 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, and 5 for 6 from the foul line. For the Brooklyn Nets, Their leading scorer was their elite starting power forward, Kevin Durant, their goated starting power forward, Kevin Durant. He finished with 29 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists in 37 minutes. He shot 9 for 20 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3, and a perfect 10 for 10 from the foul line. Their forward off the bench, LaMarcus Aldridge, would finish with 23 points and 5 rebounds, as well as 2 blocks in 23 minutes. Aldridge shot 10 for 12 from the field and a perfect 3 for 3 from the foul line. Their elite starting shooting guard, James Harden, would finish with 20 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals, alongside 5 turnovers in 38 minutes. He shot 7 for 17 from the field, 3 for 7 from 3, and 3 for 4 from the foul line. And with this win, the Brooklyn Nets are now 1-1 on the season. And with this loss, the Philadelphia 76ers are now 1-1 to start their season. Taking a look at what went down in Boston, the Boston Celtics hosted the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors would end up beating the Celtics 115 to 83. The Raptors outscored the Celtics by 16 points in the third quarter and by 12 in the fourth, outscoring them by a combined 28 in the second half, after they only outscored them by 4 in the first half. And in the first half, it was actually pretty close. They would run away with it in the second half, actually. For the Boston Celtics in this matchup, their leading scorer was their elite starting small forward, Jayson Tatum. He finished with 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, alongside 5 turnovers in 30 minutes. Tatum shot 8 for 14 from the field and 2 for 4 from 3. And for the Toronto Raptors, they were led in scoring by their rookie small forward, Scotty Barnes. He finished with 25 points and 13 rebounds in 35 minutes. He shot 11 for 17 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, and a perfect 2 for 2 from the foul line. Their starting shooting guard out of Duke, Gary Trent Jr., would finish with 20 points and 4 steals in 32 minutes. He shot 7 for 13 from the field and a perfect 4 for 4 from the foul line. With this win, the Toronto Raptors are 1-1, and the Boston Celtics are now 0-2 at this point in time. Jumping out to Chicago, the Chicago Bulls hosted the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Bulls were able to beat the Pelicans 128 to 112. The difference here would be the first half. The Bulls outscored the Pelicans by 11 in the first quarter and by 7 in the second quarter, creating an 18-point lead, and they would end up winning the game by 16, so the second half was actually pretty close. For the New Orleans Pelicans in this matchup, they were led in scoring by their elite starting small forward, Brandon Ingram, out of Duke. He would finish with 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists in 34 minutes. He shot 10 for 20 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3, and 4 for 5 from the foul line. Their starting point guard, Devontae Graham, would finish with 21 points for himself, as he also finished with 6 rebounds and 6 assists in 30 minutes. He shot 7 for 14 from the field, 6 for 11 from 3, and 1 for 2 from the foul line. For the Chicago Bulls, they were led in scoring by their all-star shooting guard, Zach LaVine. He finished with 32 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, alongside 6 turnovers in 32 minutes. He shot 11 for 19 from the field, 6 for 9 from 3, and 4 for 5 from the foul line. Their starting small forward, DeMar DeRozan, would finish with 26 points and 6 rebounds in 32 minutes, as he shot 9 for 20 from the field and 8 for 9 from the foul line. With this win, or also for the Chicago Bulls, their starting point guard out of UCLA, Lonzo Ball, would finish with 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, alongside 3 steals in 35 minutes, as he shot 6 for 11 from the field, 3 for 8 from 3, and 2 for 2 from the foul line. With this win, the Chicago Bulls are now 2-0, and with this loss, the New Orleans Pelicans are 0-2 to start their season. Jumping out to Houston, the Houston Rockets hosted the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Rockets were able to get their first win of the season after beating the OKC Thunder 124-91. The Rockets outscored the Thunder by 13 in the first quarter and by 9 in the second quarter. That is a 22-point deficit in the first half. They also went on to outscore the Thunder by 9 in the second half, so the Thunder just were not able to get anything going their way. For the Thunder, their leading scorers were their starting shooting guard, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and their center off the bench, Mike Muscala. Gilgeous-Alexander would finish with 13 points and 5 turnovers in 26 minutes as he shot 6 for 15 from the field. Muscala finished with 13 points in 12 minutes as he shot 5 for 7 from the field and 2 for 3 from 3. And then for the Houston Rockets, their starting center, Christian Wood, would finish with 31 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 blocks in 33 minutes as he shot 13 for 19 from the field, 4 for 6 from 3, and he made his only free throw of the night. Off the bench, their shooting guard, Eric Gordon, would finish with 22 points. He would finish with 22 points in 26 minutes. He shot 7 for 14 from the field, 4 for 6 from 3, and 4 for 5 from the foul line. With this win, the Houston Rockets are 1-1, and with this loss, the Oklahoma City Thunder are now 0-2. Jumping out to Denver, the Denver Nuggets hosted the San Antonio Spurs, and the Denver Nuggets would end up beating the Spurs 102-96 to continue to stay undefeated. The Nuggets would end up getting their difference the difference would be the first and third quarters. The Nuggets outscored the Spurs by 4 in the first and by 6 in the third. It was a very close game for its entirety, but the Nuggets were just able to pull away with it at the very end. For the San Antonio Spurs, they were led in scoring by Keldon Johnson, their starting small forward. He would finish with 27 points and 3 steals in 37 minutes as he shot 12 for 18 from the field and 3 for 4 from the foul line. And then on the Denver Nuggets, their leading scorer was their elite starting center, the reigning NBA MVP, Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic would finish with 32 points, 16 rebounds, and 7 assists, alongside 3 steals and 6 turnovers in 34 minutes. The reigning MVP finished shooting 14 for 19 from the field, shot a perfect 2 for 2 from 3, and he shot 2 for 3 from the foul line on the night. And with this win, the Denver Nuggets are now 2-0 to start their season. And with this loss, the San Antonio Spurs are now 1-1 to start theirs. Jumping out to Staples Center, the Los Angeles Lakers hosted the reigning Western Conference champs, the Phoenix Suns. The Suns would end up beating the Lakers 115-105. The difference would be the middle quarters. The Suns would outscore the Lakers by 16 in the second quarter and by 14 in the third. That's a combined 30 points in the second and third quarters. For the Los Angeles Lakers, they were led in scoring by their goated starting small forward, LeBron James. The active leading scorer in NBA history would finish with 25 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists, alongside 2 steals and 5 turnovers in 37 minutes as he shot 8 for 18 from the field. He shot 5 for 9 from 3 and a perfect 4 for 4 from the foul line on the night. The Lakers' elite starting power forward, Anthony Davis, would finish with 22 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 assists, alongside 2 blocks in 38 minutes as he shot 6 for 18 from the field, and he shot 10 for 11 from the foul line. Their elite starting point guard, Russell Westbrook, would finish with 15 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 steals in 35 minutes as he shot 6 for 15 from the field and 3 for 8 from the foul line. For the Phoenix Suns, they were led in scoring by their elite starting point guard. The NBA's active assist leader finished with 23 points, 5 rebounds, 14 assists, and 2 steals, alongside 5 turnovers in 29 minutes. He shot 6 for 12 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, and a perfect 10 for 10 from the foul line. Also in their starting lineup, their elite starting shooting guard Devin Booker would finish with 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists in 34 minutes as he shot 9 for 19 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3, and a perfect 2 for 2 from the foul line. And then their starting small forward, Mikal Bridges, would finish with 21 points and 5 rebounds alongside 3 steals in 35 minutes. He shot 8 for 11 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and 3 for 4 from the foul line. With this win, the Phoenix Suns are 1-1 to start their season, and the 2020 NBA champs, LA Lakers, are now 0-2 to start their season. Last but not least, jumping out to Sacramento, the Sacramento Kings hosted the Utah Jazz, the team that finished with the best record in the NBA last season. The Jazz would end up beating the Kings 110-101. In the second half, the Jazz outscored the Kings by 15 points as they outscored the Kings by 7 in the third and by 8 in the fourth. For the Kings in this matchup, they were led in scoring by their starting small forward out of North Carolina, Harrison Barnes. He finished with 25 points and 15 rebounds in 38 minutes. Barnes shot 9 for 20 from the field and 5 for 6 from the foul line. Off the bench, their shooting guard out of Oklahoma, Buddy Hield, finished with 24 points and 7 rebounds in 26 minutes as he shot 9 for 21 from the field. He shot 6 for 15 from 3 in those 26 minutes. For the Utah Jazz, they were led in scoring by their elite starting shooting guard, Donovan Mitchell. He finished with 27 points and 5 rebounds alongside 2 steals and 5 turnovers in 37 minutes. He shot 9 for 25 from the field, 6 for 14 from 3, and 3 for 4 from the foul line. Their elite starting center, Rudy Gobert, would finish with 17 points and 20 rebounds alongside 2 steals in 32 minutes. He shot 4 for 7 from the field and 9 for 10 from the foul line. With this win, the Utah Jazz are 2-0, and with this loss, the Sacramento Kings are now 1-1 to start their season. That is currently what the NBA is looking like, and once all of today's matchups are done, I will come back tomorrow for another episode of The Elite. But taking a quick look at what was going on with soccer, Arsenal took on Aston Villa at home, and Arsenal was able to pull off a 3-1 win. Second goal coming from their elite Gabonese striker, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So that's what I have going for you for today's Saturday, October 23rd, 2021. Once all of today's matchups are done, I will come back tomorrow for another episode of The Elite. And until then, I want to thank everyone for listening to this piece. I hope all is well, and I'll catch you with another episode tomorrow. Peace out.